Mayor Mamdani delivered his initial budget address yesterday. He is arguing that if the governor and the state legislature don't agree to a tax hike on the rich, then he will have no choice but to raise property taxes on millions of city homeowners to pay for the current level of city expenditures, as well as some of his new ideas.
We remain firmly within a budget crisis. It is a crisis that we can and will overcome, but we cannot do so without either significant structural changes in Albany or painful decisions of last resort here at home.
One person who now has his eye on the city's finances every day is the city controller, Mark Levine, who has been on the program many times in his previous roles, most recently as Manhattan Borough President. Controller Levine, good to have you here.
Great to be here, Pat.
We don't have the ability to wrap up an entire city budget in 6 or 7 minutes here, but what is your view of the mayor's announcement yesterday? Is this political theater to try to push Albany in a direction he wants them to go?
The mess we're in is real. We have the biggest budget gap since the Great Recession.
Oh, I'm 100% acknowledging that there's a shortfall, but there also seems to be this real push to get the tax on the wealthy, and I don't know how actually serious the mayor is about this property tax increase.
Well, we do have to fill the gap. We have a limited number of tools to do it. None are easy. I happen to think that a property tax would be a very big mistake. It's an unequal system that actually has a heavier burden on working class homeowners in communities of color. And to add more taxes onto that unequal system is not the right strategy. So we've got to look for other answers.
Which could include spending cuts, which we didn't talk too much about yesterday. The mayor said that he doesn't think that you could find more than 2 or 2.5% in savings on the spending side.
I think we probably are going to have to, and that is not easy, but there are more efficiencies if we push hard. We have some very big programs, Pat, that are growing so fast. We have this housing voucher program known as City FEPS, is growing at 4 or 5% a month. We're also probably going to have to look at reconfiguring some of those fast-growing programs. We are definitely going to need more help from Albany. We don't get our fair share. The city pays way more in taxes than we get back, and we need to remedy that. I think if we do all those things together, we can get through this.
What do you think of the assertions in the Mamdani administration that they were left with a worse situation from Mayor Adams than they realized they were inheriting?
We were handed a very bad fiscal situation. It's shocking that we're having this conversation in the midst of a strong economy, where tax revenues are up across every category. We're not in a fiscal crisis because we're in a recession or a pandemic. And that should be a wake-up call to all of us about bad fiscal practices. And one of the worst has been big programs that we know are coming that were not reflected in the budget. It's been going on for years. It got really bad in the last year or two. And to the mayor, to the current mayor's credit, to Mayor Mamdani's credit, he's acknowledging that. But that does put a big gap on the table that we have to close.
Let's shift a little bit to your new job. In your role as controller and the authority you have as controller, can you help to illuminate if a mayor is not disclosing the true reality of what's ahead on the budget?
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why the Comptroller's office exists. We have a team of economists. We see the same tax data coming in every day from income taxes and other sources. And actually, we're going to produce in the next couple of weeks a full review of the mayor's budget proposal and our own updated revenue projections. Okay. It's coming on March 11th. That may tell a different story.
And as far as stepping into this job, obviously it's early days for you. Yeah. You had promised that there were going to be some activist levers that you could pull as the controller, whether that's illuminating a particular issue through an investigation. What's ahead for you?
Well, look, I ran on the issue of affordable housing and using the tools of my office to get more affordable housing built. We're going to do that, Pat, by investing some of our pension money in projects that might not otherwise get built. We're going to do it in a good way that gets returns for retirees. Stay tuned. We have some announcements on that coming soon. We've also been flexing our muscle as owners of almost every piece of the American economy. And we sent a letter to Palantir expressing grave concerns about their partnership with ICE on the grounds that it is a legal, reputational, civil rights risk. So we're pushing hard on many fronts. I
Yeah.
started to be an activist comptroller, and I intend to do just that.
What about those pension funds and the actual annual returns of those pension funds? Do you think that they are moving in the direction that they need to for the next year?
Despite Donald Trump's best efforts to wreck our economy, we're still chugging along, and the stock market had a good year. That's also, by the way, what's driving revenue for New York City.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. And we had a good year in the pension funds.
Donald Trump would tell you that that's because of the things he's done.
It is despite his insane tariff policy, the way he's got the Fed under attack, what he's done to immigration, which is, among many other things, it's a human rights disaster, but also bad for the economy. We have a big boom in AI. I'm hoping that bubble doesn't pop. But as of today, we're in decent shape nationally and locally. Now, people are being left behind. And this is an untold story in New York City's economy. Job creation, Pat, has completely come to a stop. If you take out the single category of home health care aides, we've had a net loss of 38,000 jobs in the past year in New York City. And it's very hard for young people to break into the workforce. This needs more attention. So we do have challenges out there, but the top lines and the things that are driving tax revenue for us and the stock market are still strong.
Yeah, there's money to fuel the economy, but we've got to make sure that the programs are in the right place to support, as you say, some people getting new to the workforce, people have been pushed out of the workforce. There's a lot of structural
Look, I'm worried about the year ahead and the years ahead, partly because of job loss from AI, partly because maybe the guy in the White House succeeds at wrecking the economy, maybe the AI bubble bursts. And what we haven't talked enough about in the budget proposal the mayor made yesterday is he draws down our reserves. We never do that outside of an economic slowdown.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the right year to be drawing down reserves.
It does not.
Yeah.
And that leaves us vulnerable next year. Now, look, if the economy keeps going and the AI boom keeps going and the jobs don't actually collapse, then we'll be fine. But that's a risk that I don't think we should be taking now.
Okay. Mark, thanks for coming this
morning.
morning.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.